Today, I woke up with some serious back, shoulder, and the things right here. I don't know how to call them. I just know that, when boys do like this, like they have some thingies that move in there. It's like super hot. That's all I know. I woke up in so much freaking pain that I was like, you know what? This is for my elder ones. This video is for my grandpas and my grandmas out there. Whoa, this little fuckers really have the audacity to expect respect, but they don't give it, talking in general, to adults of the world, and how there's a lot of that phrase of respect your elders is just no. Just don't do it. Okay, so here's the thing. You have a little boy. And he has 7 years, right? 7 years inside of a box. And then you have another kid who is 5 years old and has been everywhere, Who has more experience? Hi, obviously, kid in the box. What? I'm wrong? No way I'm wrong. What? What would you know? You're only like 30 and I'm 60. I know a lot more than you. I'm just saying 30 because like in my analytics it says that a bunch of 30-year-olds and 35-year-olds are the ones that watch me. I don't know why, but okay. If I appeal to the the old ones, then this is for you fucker. No, but the thing is that yes, it sounds extremely stupid. Obviously, the 5-year-old has way more experience by all means of the word. It's like when old people say, I've been doing this all my life. What would you know? Oh, you come here with your little strategies? No. I know better than you. This is my business. And they get all like that, and they won't even listen to you or what you have to say or what you have to because you don't have experience. Like, no, sir. Just because you have 100 years of doing stuff completely wrong. No, this is not Mickey. This is a fucking bear, not a mouse, okay? It's a mouse. It's a bear. But yeah, it's like, just because you have 100 years doing stuff wrong, you just repeat stuff. You're not like actually moving on, like feedback. There's no evolution there. You're not a freaking Pokemon, okay? You haven't reached your... No, and it's like, I'm here with a different, fresh perspective. No, just kidding. All these fresh lamb meat, all tender, perfect, first years, younger people, that mentality also has to stop, okay? But, both of them can be wrong. But that's why communication and listening to each other and trying stuff out until it works out, that's what we're supposed to do, right? Because we're a team. We're fucking bullshit. It's like freaking Hitler telling you, do this, do that, or I'll murder you. My house, my rules. I don't even want to get into bad parenting because I had a lot to say about that. But you are already having bad judgments of us. You complain about us. Like, what did we ever do to you? Oh my god. No, but no, it's just dangerous. It's dangerous for everything, okay? I have wait a second. I have a little, like a mini story. It's supposed to be like a satire or something. It's not well done. I didn't like it, but my literature teacher gave it a 10 out of 10. That was the first 10 out of 10 in the whole year. It was my favorite assignment, but at the same time I hated it so much because I had like a time constraint. I'm not good with that, and I had to write very short. So I wanted to write so much. I just get so passionate about writing certain things, and I'm gonna explain that so that you understand a little better. It's not just about who has more experience, who's on the right side, or respect and all that kind of stuff. It's way darker. It's way darker, actually. It's like, you see, people have these checklists of like, I will have kids, I will drive a car, I will do, and they can't even drive a car. They have alcohol problems and they're driving a freaking car. It's okay, wait a second. Like, oh my god, people shouldn't have kids. People shouldn't even own dogs, okay? Like, it's just, sometimes there is abuse which is unconscious. And, like, people are Wait, no, I don't want to spoil the story. Wait a second. I'll go search for the computer. This is inspired by that one Goosebumps story in which, the Goosebumps series of books, and that one in which they're like the kids are in an amusement park, and the people in there are like super creepy and all smiley and welcoming, and I never got to finish the book, and I'm very intrigued by how it develops or unfolds. I know some messed up shit was going on in there, but yeah. So the alternative essay for satire is called Pink Jazz Club's Neighborhood. And so it starts with the protagonist speaking. I could have sworn my eyes were starting to hurt a little when, greetings, there is a bar full of musicians right around the corner. Oh, and there are also clubs if that's what you prefer. I looked around through the window panes. There were the DJs and the singers, and then the crowds, but no one really seemed to have fun. The grinning stranger who welcomed me noticed my frown, to which he replied, they know all the lyrics from the back to the tip of their tongue, and they come here every day. That's how you know they're having a good time. They throw parties without a schedule. This means they are open all of the time. Oh, and if you're into retro stuff, then let me tell you, our neighborhood has some of the biggest and oldest jazz clubs of all time. The dance floor keeps getting wider and wider. The pink has not yet faded from the walls. So many years, but the songs still remain the same? I wondered, looking at the pamphlet he had handed me, which had an overview of tonight's show, which did not really have anything special, if I'm honest. It looked like what they played almost every single day, if what this guy is telling me is right. The songs took me back to when I was a kid. Bash the Piñata, Piggyback, Hot Potato. It seemed a little weird for such old bars filled with old people to have kid-themed songs. Once again, he caught up to my confusion and quickly said to me, as if he had read my mind, oh, well, that's because they're the most beloved by the crowds. All-time favorites. Yes, sir, we have it all. I was a little uncertain when he went out of his way to brag once again. The records are not broken. They are still spinning. We have the best quality. I tried to talk some sense into him, but everybody was busy inside of the jazz clubs. Everybody was distracted playing. And whoever lost in the game dropped on the dance floor. This guy didn't seem like he would do anything about it. It seemed rather something mundane in town. He was right about one thing, though. The records kept spinning, and whoever won in the musical chairs didn't mind their bleeding ears as long as they could keep singing their melodies. And so I had to explain it for the assignment. I had to explain the things that I had used, like So I wrote that I had used hyperbole, irony, and sarcasm. The people who are still standing in the music chairs are the ones who have been exploiting these mechanisms, such as literal piggyback, aka taking advantage of people, or pass the hot potato, in a way discharging your anger onto someone, or guilt-tripping someone because you don't like the heat, so you'd rather make someone else burn before it has to be you. This is not my concept. Piggyback, I took it from the song from Melanie Martinez, like the meaning that she gave it, or maybe it's already a meaning of its own in Urban Dictionary or something. But yeah, and then the hot potato thing is actually a way to explain narcissists and abusive people when they guilt trip you. Okay, so the jazz bars, I keep on explaining, the jazz bars are pink because they represent human brains. They are old and wide because that represents adults and how their bodies get bigger. But the tracks, the songs, they're, in parentheses, their coping mechanisms, generational trauma, untreated mental illnesses, or repeated abusive behaviors and cycles. still remain, and they pass it down like DJs play a song for the crowds. Just like parents to children, and everyone, just like parents to children, and everyone knows these ways and how to use them. But the reason they're not having fun in the party is because that is painful for them, obviously. And our protagonist will be what is considered a cycle breaker. You know, when for example, you come from a history of abuse and then you decide to stop that, you don't continue with the cycle. When you have your own children, when you have your own relationships, when you interact with other people, you don't commit the same things that have been done to you. Or any addiction, any background, any sort of thing that has been passed down throughout the family, you decide on your own will to break that toxic cycle. Okay, so the records keep spinning is a way to resemble a cycle, circular motion, and the musical games are distractions for people, even though they know that they, parenthesis, the abused who have become abusers, are causing themselves, their own selves, they're hurting themselves, parenthesis, bleeding ears, parenthesis, that everyone in the party had bleeding ears, are causing themselves and others, the victims, which are the losers of the game, so much pain. I don't know if I made sense, but yeah, that's what I wrote. And so I was just thinking about it, and quite literally, we are children who grow into bigger bodies, but we don't, maturity, what is maturity? Everybody talks about maturity. Everyone has pride on how mature they are. But seriously, how mature are you? What does it mean to be a child? Because a child that becomes, that has to reparent their own children, are they no longer children? Like, how does a child think? And this thing about looking down on children, like, oh, you're just a child. No, children have power. Literally, they have power. There's so many videos in which you can understand how aware children are of things that are being done to them, about their boundaries, about respect, about concepts or like social things that are going on. They have an opinion, and they have like a well-constructed or like analytical approach to them. So a child is powerful, and an adult can be just as weak. Like both of them. It sounds crazy, but I don't think there's that much of a difference, you see, because someone with unresolved trauma, someone with an unresolved background, someone that is stubborn, that doesn't learn, that doesn't practice, because practice doesn't make perfect. Like, there's this video by Anna's Analysis in which she lists 19 things she has learned in 19 years, and she says this, and it makes sense, total sense with, wait a second, there's so many ideas right now. It's like, I'm so sorry if this is like a brain dump to you. I know I'm supposed to organize this, but I just can't, I don't want to like, so this is the hot potato game, also referred to by No, I just can't. I just have so much to say. Wait a second. So Anna's Analysis was talking about a point that I had already like figured out by myself. Like, yes, that's 100% true. Like, it goes the same for the experience. Just because you're old, it doesn't mean you know any better. Or you're wiser. And what makes it for you to have experience, I mean, it's like an assumption that just because you are 100 years old, you've had 1,000 different experiences, you've experienced 1,000 different pains, you've caused to others 1,000 different pains, you have been exposed to scenarios, because this is what really makes for personal growth, for actual growth as a human, because growth and developing, like, I have boobs, I have a booty, I have blood down here. Yeah, I already grew, in the physical, animalistic way of it. But, I already went through my maturing stage, developing stage, yes, as any other living thing. But, the jazz clubs, they keep getting wider and wider, the pink, because it's the same brain, it's the same thoughts, it's the same mind, the same mental illnesses, the same experiences and flashbacks and I don't know, diseases or disorders or personality traits that are getting passed down like a DJ to the it's just I know it's super messy in a way of symbolism, but seriously, it's just for everything. Like, it can sound super dumb. I know I started all lighthearted, like, oh yeah, respect your elders is bullshit, because it is bullshit. But what I'm really trying to get at is that there's so many things that are wrong with that notion, with that kind of thing, and also with this, like, oh yeah, so I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have children, I'm gonna get a house, I'm gonna get a car, and you don't get an exam, like an exam that you are responsible enough to keep a car and not hurt anyone else, that you are emotionally mature and capable enough to have a stable relationship with your partner, or that you are well, all of these traits, all of these positive traits that we don't have to magically be born with them. I'm not saying that, I'm not shaming on that, I'm not shaming on anyone. I'm just saying that every adult out there is a scared child who has no idea of what they are doing. How can they possibly become a parent? Taking care of a living thing is not like, in many comedy movies about babies and children, all of them say, oh yeah, we don't have a manual to know how to take care of children. But in the real world, what the problems or the conflicts that you will have when raising a child are all in here. It's all up to you, up to your background, up to your past, up to how conscious you are of these things, or if you're in denial, like overcoming an addiction of something, alcohol or whatever other drug it is, like being aware of your biases, being aware of your weaknesses, that you are weak, that you're not the almighty hero adult, the only certified or capable with a degree, with a status, with 100 years of experience. None of that matters. Okay, a child can literally save the world. And no, not because, in so many apocalyptic movies, I have seen that children are a symbol of hope, because then it means that the adult, which is in charge of the survival of feeding that child, it gives them some sort of purpose. Like, how selfish is that? Oh, no, I'm just realizing that, but it makes the child be helpless, like a freaking little bunny that you have to protect, that only you are capable. And no, because you can see from all of these zombie apocalypse movies that and series that adults are 10 times more stupid than the children in the group, than the children that they're trying to save, protect, and because they're the only how can I make myself be more clear? The reason why in apocalypse movies or the children are like the hope, they're seen as something down here, and the adult that remains alive is over here. They're seen as innocence, as somebody, and yes, they can be all of that, but they can also be the heroes. They also have power within themselves. And if we tell our children that they are capable of making decisions, of being independent, not of, not taking care of them. I mean, that's parental neglect. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if we can really, it's not by praising them like, oh, you're so smart. No, you're just praising them for their book smartness. But like being aware of things around you, of people around you, reading between the lines. Oh yeah, don't trust strangers because they're gonna kidnap you. No. But really, beyond that, like they are beyond being some little Dougies. I used to have some conversations with my ex about children and how they were not actual human, like they were not society's, like we all talk about the youth being the future and voting when you're an adult. Oh yeah, I just turned 18, now I'm able to vote. I'm not less dumb than I was yesterday. okay? Just because today it is my birthday, like what, that's just so stupid. Like they all say, oh yeah, because you're gonna go to 5th grade, it's gonna be way harder than 4th grade, and then when you go to 5th grade, they're gonna say, oh yeah, because you're not kids anymore, you're gonna go to 6th grade, it's gonna be way harder, way more demanding, and then when you go to 6th grade, they say, oh yeah, because this year was kind of easy because you're still young and stuff, but next year, it's the real shit, it's going down, and it's like every single year, it's like it's the same story, and it's like, okay, when am I actually old, when am I actually a child, do you understand, like, it is the same for everything, even though it doesn't seem it is absolutely the same, because I see what my brother struggles with in math, and I say, if you were giving physics, you would be dying right now as I am. So you should be fine. But then I remember, I was a child too, and you know, counting from 1 to 10 was the hardest thing, it was as hard as physics was, okay? So, and adults forget about that. You know, I want to have a diary. I want to have a diary, not for myself, but for my kids to read about my struggles with my parents. I want to have a diary in which they can see another side of me, because teachers will point at somebody and call them almost a criminal just because they cheated on a test. I mean, that's what has happened in my school. They have literally said, oh yeah, if right now with such silly things you do that, then God knows what you did in the future. And it's like, okay, you studied, you became a professional, you're a teacher, and you cheated too. It's like you forget where you come from. You forget that you were a child. Like, we need to embrace the child within us, not only because, oh yeah, everybody has a child inside, like in Disneyland. No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, that's beautiful, yes. But in here, I'm focusing about, we need to see things from a different perspective. Because when a child cries over ice cream or a balloon, when it is something like, if you get down, if you crawl like a baby, you will see that everything is amazing. Like, we can't just outgrow things and think that we reach some sort of maturity, that, oh, they're just kids, look at them worrying about unimportant stuff. No, that's important. That's just as important. Like right now for us, some things are going to be important that for a 30-year-old they're not going to be important that for a 40-year-old. So what? We need to reach the age 100 to have acquired the ultimate, the real type of maturity. Like, we grow, but we keep the same things from all of our lives, from when we started. We keep it in here. That doesn't go anywhere. That stays within us. We are children trying to raise other children with our problems, still taking them and carrying them for years and years and years. We don't get, if we got as much documentation and trouble to adopt a child as it is to keep a child of our own. Like, there's this misconception or idea that my child, I can do whatever I want with it because it is my blood. No. Oh my God, because there's no regulations, there's no one that they have to impress, there's no one coming over to visit you, like, to check if you're doing everything right. We have all of these procedures for adopted children, but it should be the same when you're gonna adopt an animal, because an animal is a living thing. Like, if you're gonna have plants, just for the decor, and then you leave them to die. I mean, it's just the same. It's the same thing. Like, there should be more regulations to getting a car. Like, oh yeah, you're 18, now you can drive, now you can drink, but no one teaches you how to drink right, how to drive right. I mean, yes, there's driving schools and all that kind of stuff, but what I'm trying to say is that no one actually cares if you are certified to do it, if you're capable, if you have emotional maturity. Like, it's all about praise and punish. Who's the smartest one? Who can solve this problem? Who can solve this issue? But no one sees if you are in the how do you say it? Like, capable of doing that in that moment, or how can I like, we praise certain people for stupid shit, for stupid stuff, for like easy stuff. I don't know how to say it, like dumb stuff, especially in school. Like, what goes into that? Dig deeper. Why could he do it and she couldn't do it? Like, if you're really gonna compare, don't just say, oh yeah, be like him. No, like, really understand where both of them come from, what they're thinking, the way that they perceive the world. Like, it's just, oh my god, I know I'm saying so much stuff right now, but it is so important to listen to the child, to listen to the child, because oh yeah, what would a child know? You're just living in La La Land. No, that's not the case. And even if we were, a lot of reality would kill us. Literally, it would kill us. Like, as I said, like, if children give us such a sense of hope in when everything's doomed and everything's over, like why do we have to wait until that stage to see the beauty of what being a child entails, or what it has, like, and not only like that beauty of magic and nonsense, like, no, I'm talking about smart children, not because they were born smart, but because they did stuff to get out of the obstacles presented in their life, because maybe they weren't the healthiest members of society, but they kept pushing for it, they kept trying, and it's not trying for trying, like, this is like a bucket list, this is like a freaking the life bucket list, and it is so awful for our survival. No, yes, we are surviving, but we cannot coexist together in a community, because all of us have so much unresolved stuff, all of us have so much, because it is considered more important, and it is considered that you are achieved. It is considered that you have more stuff if you have the position in a job. And I'm not talking about that kind of success. No, I'm just saying that quite literally, that's what determines whether you succeeded or not. And things such as emotions or feelings are left out as the weak. And that's what's killing everyone. That's what's killing everyone on the inside. That's what's killing people's passions. And not only passions for everyone to be happy and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not talking about that. Literally, if you are happy, you will make people around you happy. If you're not happy, you will not make people around you happy. Quite the opposite. Like, this is useful. Emotions are useful to take care of them, to pay attention to them. Is completely fucking useful for... Okay, wait a second. Okay, for example, when animals have a baby, they leave the baby, the strongest survives, or they feed the strongest one, and they just leave. But with human parents, it's not like that. Is it a blessing or a curse? You will tell me. I think it's both things. But there's a reason why it's not like that. There's a reason why love exists, so that we can have a stable family in a community, in a society, because we live in a society. We're no longer, just animals that go out to hunt for food. It's not about the strongest and the weakest, but it seems like it is. Like, we treat this like a freaking animal jungle, and then we say we are civilized. Like, we have a hierarchy as if we were lions and kings of the whole, it's I'm saying so much stuff, but I hope you're catching up. I hope it makes sense. It's like a child shouldn't be Anne with an E. You need to watch Anne with an E. You will understand way more better what I'm trying to say. Okay. So it's just scary. It's just scary that all of these things are like, we are the freaking Sims, like we're in a game, like any decision we make, it's only for the better. Oh yeah, you got a car, you go to the next level. Oh yeah, and now you have a job, you go to the next level. And it's like, yeah, I got a job, but what am I doing with it? Am I being not productive? Who cares about productive? It's not how hard you work, it's how efficient you are. It's not quantity, it's quality. And all of these so obvious, but we overlook it. We just step on it. We don't care about it. It's like a video game. Like, we just unlock little things. Okay, now you unlock a baby. Now you unlocked a new partner. Now you unlocked a vacation, a house, and this and that. And we don't know why we're doing these things. Okay, it's not just about, oh yeah, let's reject the traditional path. Oh yeah, no adult can control us. We are untamable. We are wild. We are the youth. We are free. I wish that was the case. But no, it's not about that. This is way deeper than that, okay? This is about the fact that everyone will try, or they will have, maybe not in the modern times, but most people will have a child. Most people will, without being ready, they will have a dog without being ready. Dogs are given away as gifts to people. and then they end up abandoned, neglected, and etc., etc. I can say it too because I am an awful dog owner, and there's not like a little test before it. There's not like a way to practice, to get prepared for it. We don't get prepared for that. We get prepared for our dates. We don't get prepared for a child but we prepare the house when we're gonna adopt a child, or we prepare the house when we want to show a dog breeder but that's about it. Like, those are the only two cases. Otherwise, you just get your dog and you do whatever you want with it because it's your pet, right? It's your animal. You know how to treat it. You know better. You know what it likes. You know what makes him happy. It's just an animal. It's just a dog. Oh yeah, it's just a baby. Why would he know? You're just a kid. What are you talking about? And literally, a kid could save the world. And this is not bullshit. This is serious. Like, not any kid can do it. Not any kid can do it. Just as not any adult can become a parent. Not any kid can have that level of maturity and awareness, because we only focus on the maturity of, oh yeah, so are you bringing money to the house? Are you being productive? Are you useful for having a partner? Are you useful for this or that? Are you we're not products. We're not meant to profit off of every talent. Oh yeah, but what are you doing with your talent? It's completely useless. Why are you going to learn that language? No one is going to use it. And these are things that if we don't do the things that are useless to everyone else and their utility is based on passion for us, we will not be able to achieve the stuff that is useful by default, like, you know, having a job and etc., being happy enough to be productive. Because if your mood is not okay, then your results in your job will not be okay either. Like, are you capable for taking care? Yeah, I need a nanny quick, and we get anyone. But is she really capable? It's not just about, oh, is she a thief or is she not a thief? No, does she have the characteristics that you're looking for? It's not just an interview. It's not just hiring anyone. It's not just hiring teachers. Oh yeah, there's free coupons. We need someone. Somebody got fired. Now you come in. Next one come in. No, it's not about the degree or how much preparation or certified they are on the knowledge they have. It's about how they're going to educate your children. You know, it's about the how, not about the what. It's not about, I don't care what you did, just tell me why. I don't care if you murder a person, just tell me why you did it. Tell me how you did it. Tell me what went on your body. You know, well, no, that's gross. But what I'm trying to say is that we're focusing on the wrong stuff. We're focusing on getting things done. We're not focusing on wow and how it's like everyone wants that happy ending, but they don't realize, you know, Disney princess have to fight against dragons, and you could use that as a symbol, as a metaphor, or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that, okay, that happy ending, the book's over. How about the end? The rest of their lives, they spend the rest of their lives together. Do they talk about princes and princesses divorcing? Do they talk about those topics? Do they talk about being old, getting sick? Of course not, because it's just. But that's what I mean. It's like, if it's as ridiculous as it sounds, why do we expect the same here? And we say we're realistic. We say we are not children anymore. We're not dumb enough to buy onto that propaganda. But we buy onto that fantasy. We want that to be true because we don't put in the effort. We don't put in the self-analysis, the self-work, whatever you want to call it, shadow work, inner child. You may think that all of that's like, spiritual and whatever. No. Seriously. There is a child within you. The stuff that you were playing with when you were little, it tells you what makes you happy. It tells you sort of what you want, whether you like taking care of something, nurturing something. Maybe you could want to be a doctor, but you're afraid of what being a doctor involves, or what it means, or all of the work it has. But maybe you would be happy taking care of people, but because we want to become things, but we don't want the work from them. And like we want the respect, but we don't earn it. We don't give it either. We do not earn it. No, the adults. They do not earn it. Well, I'm an adult, but they do not earn it, and they do not give it, but they do demand it. They demand stuff. They demand from kids. They demand from kids to do this, and that by age by when you're in this grade, you cannot pee your bed, you cannot do, but you're not really thinking about why that child is peeing its bed. Oh, all of your teammates, all of your classmates would do that. Are you sure? It's like why don't you investigate a little deeper? Like when somebody pees, like in their most animalistic way, it's because they're afraid of something. We don't put in the thought. We want to be so many things at the same time. We want to be both. I mean, obviously we have to, in order to maintain a family. But if you're not, sometimes you're not able to. You're just not able to. It's a cruelty, I think. I mean, it's not a cruelty that everyone has to wish and hope to have children. Okay, you can do whatever you want with your life. It's not your fault that you are poor. But what kind of quality of life are you going to give that child? Like, what quality of life are you going to give that? If you haven't healed from your own traumas, if you haven't healed from your own issues, what kind of quality of life are you going to give to that person in your life? You want love. Yes, I know you crave love. Everyone wants love. Everyone needs love. Everyone needs not only love, but they also need to feel that they're worth loving. They need to feel lovable. Even if we got love, we need to make sure that it's something that we, but not everyone deserves love. That's just the harsh truth of it. Everybody needs it. Not everyone deserves it. Everybody needs it. Yes, even the awfulest monsters need it, but not everyone deserves it. And if they cannot come to terms with it and do something in order to deserve that love, change, be better, then they will not get it. But I mean, this is the real world, so they will get it anyways, because everyone is just as messed up in their own way. It's not that adults rot or anything. It's just that they were already like that and they are just catching up to it now that they're older. Or sometimes they never even do. They never do. They're like, yeah, well, if you don't love me like this, then you don't truly love me. Or if you don't love me, I will not change. I'm about to die. Like terminal ill people. Like it was. Well, I'm not generalizing that everyone's like that, but like sometimes, when you're close to that, it's like, I don't care. And sometimes being free in that way is good for your positive stuff in which you're not harming anyone. But if you're harming people, you need to work on yourself. Like, your job is not the only thing that you need to work on. Exercise is not the only workout. There's so many meanings for work that we are not doing. And children are so underestimated. Children are only good for winning trophies and being stimulated with toys and being having incentives with candy. Like, we treat them like animals, so of course they're going to behave like animals. Of course they're not going to behave like actual human beings of society, productive, that have an idea that can contribute to the well-being of everyone. Of course, if we treat them like that, yes, but if we treated their emotions not lightly, like, it's just a tantrum, it will pass. Like, if we really gave it the importance, the seriousness to a child, it will treat you just as serious back. It would respect you as much back. It will understand things and have empathy better. With great power comes great responsibility, but we want to grant that power to people based on their age. We want to grant possibilities and access to things just because of their age. Like, a kid wouldn't be able to handle it. Mr. Rogers said that anything that is mentionable is manageable, but people are too afraid. They want to keep their children like little bunnies all their lives. That's overprotecting. And I'm not saying you go and traumatize the damn kid. No. Like, fucking no, poor child. I'm just saying that you can keep their childlikeness alive. I mean, that will come on its own. They're children. But you can also wake up. You can also bring to life the tools that you need them to develop. You don't have to wait for some point. No, there's no point. There's no being the best type of person. There's no like good person, bad person. You're constantly working. If you watch BoJack Horseman, you know that you're constantly working on yourself, bettering yourself, doing things, screwing up, and learning about new things. So why do we wait for children to grow into adults, they say that about the age of 25, I think, 23 to 25, mostly not much will change within you. I mean, for the average person who doesn't undergo, I don't know, a traumatic event like the loss of someone or being in a wheelchair or whatever, your traits and the way that you are, your personality and so many other things, like, and we embrace, not changing. We embrace not changing like it's a good thing when it's not. It's not, because changing is what makes us, how can I changing is what brings like the variety in many perspectives. It makes us truly understand. Like, yeah, you can be a good person, you can stand by all of the good values, all of the good things in the world, but if you don't understand why you're doing that, and you just go with the masses, then you're doing nothing. And the love is not genuine. Then the experience, the learning is not genuine. That's not real wisdom, okay? Like, if you don't pass it down, if you're only intelligent to show off, that's not real wisdom. You see? Like, I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to cover in here. I mean, it's not just for parents, but for everything. It's just like, it's generations and generations of the same thing passing down, because we don't stop for a second and say, well, I mean, heck, there's overpopulation first, and second of all, it's like, wait, why are we doing this? Yes, for the survival of the species. Okay, but we can't only focus on that, because we are no longer animals, okay? What if we stop existing? Okay, so what? Like, let's make the last years of the last human beings on Earth worth it. Let's make the best years ever, not just continue in a loophole, in a continuous thing that will never end. Like, shoo, infinity, eternity. That shit's fucking scary. That's one of the scariest things about religion. Even if I'm in heaven, I don't care. That kind of awareness of your existence, like, I don't want it, okay? It's like, what? Why would we keep going until we can't? No, why don't we stop, ourselves? Why are we so controlled, so managed by somebody who invented this? Oh my god. We can free ourselves. We can be the ultimate version of ourselves, the ultimate fucking Pokemon, legendary, whatever it is. Evolve, keep on evolving. Like, it's like when I learned a language and I am fluent enough so I don't dig any deeper because I already have enough of what I want. It's like when you're smart enough and then you don't study for the test because you get laid back, and that's not the case. We shouldn't do that. This is our life we're talking about, not just our life of survival, but our life of living with each other, living with our own lives, living with our own selves. Even living with ourselves is uncomfortable enough. Why? We stop mating, we stop killing animals, I'm not saying go vegan, but like, a lot of good changes can happen if we just stop having children. We focus on one thing at a time, like it's Among Us. We focus on one task at a time, okay? First, we're gonna eradicate this, then we're gonna fix this, and then when you have a better world to raise your children in, we can resume with the fucking each other, but not fucking each other up. A child has something that an adult will never have. An adult can have it if he practices it, Curiosity. If the will to do things, the internal impulse of learning about things. That's when we should be telling them everything, not just, exploiting them because they can absorb all of the information. No, we should exploit the fact that they are curious about things, to talk about stuff that matters, stuff that is, oh yeah, let the adults handle it. No, we need to stop that. Because if we stop treating them like they're some, do you understand my plan? It's never gonna be true, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, if we really respect them and treated them like they're smart enough, because they are, and they can be even more. They're made for much more than just silly competitions. They're made for much more than just what can I say? How can I say it? How can I make you understand? It's madness right now. It's madness. The fucking entitlement from parents, the nosiness from adults, the assumptions and not valuing like how capable kids are to do and not to obey, not to use as machines, not to be manipulated. No, because that's what we use kids for. We say, oh, those little poor things, they cannot know about this. Oh, but we are manipulating them and doing so many things to them and playing with them. Like, what do people do in malls? They attract children so that children beg daddy and mommy to stay in the restaurant because they love the playground that they have. Sounds super dark and obscure, but yes, like when in the mall somebody's standing there with a stupid costume on, it's like we're clowns. It's like it's like we treat them like they are nothing. We treat them like a way ahead to our interests. We use them. But we say they're useless when it's convenient for us to say it. But we use them. We put on bright colors and we insult their intelligence by freaking offering them a balloon, a candy with the logo of your company. Like, what is this brainwashing thing? Like, they have a real brain that can be used for so much more than that. So much more. So you allow your child to be manipulated, right? I mean, but you don't allow it to also, something of equal value, something of equal impact. You don't allow it to know about these other things or make their mind of these other things. Watch the movie, wait a second, I'll search for the name in English because I don't know the name in Spanish. Captain Fantastic, okay? Captain Fantastic is an amazing movie, and yes, it shows that in both sides they were wrong, but what I want you to look at is how he treats their children, right? You don't have to be as extreme as to make your children hunt and do stuff such as animals and survival, but the way he raised them, the way he educated them, the type of conversations that they had, right? I think that is very healthy and it's not something to be looked down on. It's not to use them in the way that he used them if you watch the movie you'll understand, but it's the fact that he didn't ask the child, what did you read? He asked again, what did you read? What did you understand from the reading? Not just, oh yeah, what was the plot? Tell me what happened. Oh, and this is conflicted because this and that, and the protagonist obviously did this, and what was the message behind it or the theme? No. He doesn't ask technical questions. He asks the reflection part of it, the insight, the deeper part of it, what a child could bring to the table. If we valued children, they would bring so much more than they already are doing. Way much more than just be our little, oh, you're my savior, you're my hero, I look up to you. We can look up to them